be entertaining. All right. This is the part that's the most... oh, you know what I forgot? Do not disturb. Have to remember to put on do not disturb. Okay. Let's see what I got going on here. Got to get my chat up on my laptop, you guys. Did I just break YouTube? Nope, here I am. Did I just break YouTube? Nope, here I am. Sounds good, I think. All right, Dictionary of Effects, high back. Austin Byerly, P.O. Heinrichsen. Hey, hey. All right, I need to figure out what I'm going to smoke. And maybe make the shot a little better. Let's get a bit more intimate, shall we? Maybe right there. What do I want to smoke? I probably smoked this last week in the live stream, but I'm going to load up this 642 Series 3. I've been trying to figure out why I like this one so much, but it's somewhere in between the 320 and the 321 as far as size and feel, but just a bit more of a curve to the stem. A bit more of a bend to the stem, but I like it a lot. Chris, this is earlier than normal. I actually am going to start doing my live streams. I'm going to kick off at 6 Eastern time from now on instead of 6:30. That's 5 my time instead of 5:30 because I'm in Central time. But yeah, just scooting it forward an hour. Or not an hour, 30 minutes, a half hour. And I announced that last week at the end of the live stream. And I, told, well, Phil at Briar Report heard it. So he made the announcement in the Briar Report. So if you're not signed up to Briar Report, be a good time to sign up for the newsletter. BriarReport.org. But anyway, he forgot to change the calendar time. So he made the announcement with the accurate time that I'm going to start from now on at 6 Eastern. But the calendar was still wrong at the time of the newsletter going out. So I figured today I'd split the difference a bit. I started a bit later, just after 5. Like, when did I start? 5:07, something like that. Anywho. Chris L., Piper on the 45, Dictionary of Effects. Well, he was first. Yep. Yeah, Dictionary. The 320 is one of my all-time favorite shapes. I love it. George, I did sell Nerup pipes at one point in time. This was early on. I may revisit that. I may revisit Nerup pipes. They don't have U.S. distribution. So I just have to order individual pipes from them directly, and then I get slammed with the tariff charge for that. They were the only ones. Well, that's not true. I actually ordered directly from Parinelli for a little while. I carried both Nerup and Parinelli, and I was charged, import taxes, import duties for those pipes. since neither of them had US distribution. I might revisit those in the future, adding those back. But we'll just have to see what kind of ride 2021 takes us on. I do have some other plans in the works, probably to take us through the end of the year. All right, Chad, I appreciate you stopping in. Hope the doctor's appointment goes well. Only let them know what they need to know. Signal Man Tony, welcome. TKP 117. I have smoked a falcon pipe before. As a matter of fact, I have a falcon pipe up here in I have a falcon pipe up here in the cabinet. I don't smoke it often, but they're fun. Mine has a green stem, or a green, whatever you would call that piece. The metal shank that runs inside is green. Cliff Higgins, doing well, sir. All right, I think, Aaron, Andrew, welcome. I think I'm going to load up. What can I smoke that's not what I always smoke? You know, I want to smoke some more Sands of Pokra, to be honest with you. I'm going to smoke the Beast. Smoking some Cornell and Deal small batch, the Beast. I know this is going to make some of you guys aggravated, because I'm pretty sure this is sold out everywhere. I know I sold out very, very quickly within a 2-3 hour, well, maybe a little bit longer than that, but that's only because I didn't send an email about it. But I am definitely sold out of this now. It sold out definitely within half of a day, I can tell you that. It was almost gone within 2 hours. I made a quick post on YouTube about it, not a video, just a quick little post with a picture. And then I took that down in like an hour or two because I saw how fast they were going off the site. Now, I had asked for, there's only 2,500 tins in this series this year. And it's the first time it's been offered in 5 years. So 2,500 tins, I think they were underestimating what the demand would be this particular year. Now the Beast isn't for everyone. It's 51% Perique and drenched in rum and then dried out. I mean, it came moist, but not, you know, it wasn't sopping wet or anything. But I did open the tin and leave it open for an hour, let it dry out a bit. And it's still a bit moist, but not bad. Did I get a filter? No. So anyway, if you guys see the Beast, if you're interested in trying the Beast and you see it anywhere, buy it. I wholeheartedly recommend it for the Perique lover. It is not the kind of blend you want to test to see if you like Perique or not. I don't think. Go with something a bit lighter than that on the Perique. Doc, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit more about the Beast, or at least the Beast at the Pipe Nook. When I found out that Cornell and Deal only was making 2,500 of these, I asked for 250 tins. I wanted to get a full 10% of the offerings from the Beast because I knew I was excited about it, and I knew the YTPC would be excited about it, and the pipe community at large. Typically, their small batches have been 8,000 to 10,000 tins. And yes, the beast is not for everyone, but at the same time, I didn't think I'd have any problem selling 250 tins within like a couple of months. And aside from the Sands of Pocro, which took me a while to sell out of, because I think I got 300 tins of that. You know, I've had a hard time getting what I needed for the pipe Nook as far as demand when it comes to these small batch releases. So I asked for 10% of that 2,500. I asked for 250 tins. Didn't get it because, you know, I don't hold 10% of the market. Nowhere near it. I probably hold less than 1% of the online pipe and tobacco market. So they had to divvy out things a little bit more orderly than that. So whereas typically I would have got an initial order of maybe 150 tins of a small batch, this time around I could only get 50 because of the small run. Because of that, I decided not to send an email out, and I still sold out in less than a day. So I'm pretty sure everybody's sold out of it by now. It's been, what, a week now? Close to a week. Let me light up. Oh. Got a good light with one match, I think. Piper on the 45, I have smoked a tin of Old Joe Red Label, but honestly, I don't remember it. I think that was one that had a lot of key in it. Here's the thing about the Old Joe, the different labels. I really love the original Old Joe Krantz. When they made the red, white, and blue labels and put them all out at the same time, I didn't think that was the best route to go. I really thought that those blends could all stand on their own without being branded Old Joe Krantz, because Old Joe Krantz is its own thing. So I carried those for a while, and then I stopped carrying them. None of them were bad blends, but I couldn't, and this may be silly, but I couldn't associate the name of the blend with, you know, the actual blend itself. I couldn't differentiate it the way that I do with just standard Old Joe Krantz. And I think other people had trouble with that too. So I quit carrying it. But again, not a bad blend. Picking and piping. Glad you're here, man. I let my pipe go out, I'm sure. Yep. We're at 30 in the house. I think we'll probably see here in 10 minutes more folks popping in because they're used to that 6:30 Eastern time slot. So we'll have to talk about that again for the latecomers. There we go. Maybe I'll keep it lit this time. Do I think a pipe with a large chamber is better for compressed tobacco? Well, by the time I load a tobacco, whether it's a plug or a cake or a press or a flake or just loose ribbon or what have you, I try to load it pretty much the same consistency. I'll break up flakes and rub them out. Do the same thing with cakes. Um, so no, I wouldn't say a larger bowl is better for compressed tobacco unless you're trying to still smoke it compressed, which I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that, but your mileage may vary. You gave away a ton of green toothbrushes today. Well, I hope you didn't see a ton of green teeth, Cliff. Oh, Steph's gone for a bit. All briared up. Cliff, where do you smoke? Like outside on the out back or what have you? Because I can't imagine you smoke in the office. Evening Hillbilly Piper? Brownleaf Beardsman. I don't think I've seen you in chat this evening. Welcome. Mr. Tolson, I haven't tried the double pressed Burley yet. I almost loaded up some of the double pressed dark fired tonight. I got a 10 of all of those double pressed. That's a series that I wouldn't mind carrying, the John Cotton tobaccos. I'm going to try them all before I decide, but the double pressed Kentucky and the double pressed dark fired were both great. So it's good to hear the Burley, something to look forward to. Just got here. All right, good. I'm caught up with 40 in the house and my pipe is lit. Let's see if I can stay on top of things. Cool. I will let chat see if anybody in chat answers about the Rattray's Red Wrap Array. I haven't personally tried that one. I've tried a few Rattray's blends and they were very good, but I haven't tried them all. Yeah, Hillbilly Piper, that Kentucky was my favorite of the two that I've tried so far. I'm going to pour myself some New Belgium Voodoo Ranger. They're straight up IPA. They have an Imperial IPA, and then they have like a juicy haze IPA, and I've probably seen 5 or 6 variants of Voodoo Ranger, and they've all been really good. The standard Voodoo Ranger is kind of the Carter Hall of IPAs, if you will. It's just a good baseline. Not the best IPA I've ever tried, but everything I like about IPAs are there. Kind of like with Carter Hall. The things I like about Burley are all there. If I recall, the John Cotton double press blends were a bit on the pricey side, though. That would be the only thing that would keep me from maybe carrying it. Well, that and just inventory space. But they're one of the very few brands or lines of tobacco that I might introduce this year. Dr. Davy, doing well. Glad you're here. Oh man, all of those H.H. McBaron tobaccos, brown leaf, they are all good. I do think after a few years of only carrying McBaron HH blends, I am going to start carrying other McBaron blends. Probably not all of them, but a good bit. There's just so many good blends in the McBaron line. Somebody asked me this week via email what blender I thought used the highest quality leaf, which I'm uneducated. There's really no way for me to know that. Uh-oh, I got low battery, you guys. This might be a quickie. I'm at 20%. I'll try to keep an eye on that. But the feed may just go down, so be aware. All of my tobacco, or all of my pipe lighters are low on fuel, I think. I'm going to grab this old Stanwell, what is this called, a Z-pipe lighter? Gives you the satisfying Zippo click, but it's a butane insert. What was I even saying? I completely lost my train of thought. I'm pretty sure I was talking about something very specific that I didn't finish. Cool R, if I'm pronouncing that right. The Westminster by GLP's. I never tried Dunhill's London mixture, so I can't speak to that. But I can tell you that Westminster kind of reminds me of Dunhill's standard mixture. So if London mixture and standard mixture were similar, I could see favorable opinions of all three. The Westminster is just a good, solid, medium English blend. Austin, I used to do a lot more camping than I have in the past 5 years, but I still do enjoy it. I've got, a wife and 3 daughters, and it's a lot easier to go camping with the fellas, I'll tell you that. We'll just leave it at that. I can pack a backpack and throw a tent and a chair in my car and go camping with the guys. When you go with a family, they want to pack everything up, and it's stressful and nightmarish. When we get there, we have fun, but it's a lot more work. So we don't camp that often as a family. And of course, this year I haven't done much of anything. But it's probably been 3 years since I've been camping with the fellas. But yeah, I would say tent over camper. I like to go as simple as possible and as cheaply as possible. I've never really had access to a camper aside from my grandparents' camper RV that they used to drive up to a fish camp on Juniper Lake down here in Florida. That's been, 30 years since I've done that. They've both passed on. Brownleaf, have fun with that Rustica. Let us know how it's going. We'll be your lifeline for that. Oh yeah, you guys leave a like if you like. Appreciate that, Benjamin. Oh yeah, over a pipe, thank you. So who has the highest quality leaf in their blends? I'm not, somebody asked me that, and I'm not really the best person to answer that question. I'm not involved in the tobacco, the bulk tobacco purchasing aspect of the business, and I haven't tried every blender out there, every manufacturer out there. There's just too many. But of the ones that I've tried, I would say Esoterica, unfortunately, probably uses the highest quality leaf. And then second and third to that would be a toss-up between Peterson and McBaron. But then a follow-up question to that was, who blends the best? What company is the best blender of what they do use? And again, I would probably say either Peterson, McBaron, or Cornell and Deal. Which Cornell and Deal also makes GLP's blends under license, and Captain Earl's blends. And that practically covers everything that I carry. So, and that's why. Some good vapors. What are some good vapors? You guys help me out in chat. Sometimes it's hard to come up with that kind of stuff. It's like when somebody asks you, oh, what was your friend's name that's really into soccer? And you're like, I can't remember. Just because you're put on the spotlight. But some of my favorite vapors, Elizabethan mixture is good. I still think Dunhill's Deluxe Navy Rolls are probably the pinnacle of Virginia Periques for me. I like so many other blends that have other things in them. So they may have a Virginia Perique base. They start as a Virginia Perique, but then they'll also have maybe a little Cavendish or maybe a little Dark Fired Kentucky or what have you, Orientals. So it's hard for me to remember what has only Virginia and Perique for some reason. I don't carry them, but I do like the Stokeby's Virginia Perique. What is that called? Luxury, is it their Luxury Navy Rolls? That's a Virginia Perique. I got too much stuff stacked up here for me to dig for it. Unless it's down here. Luxury Navy Flake. Yep. Brown Leaf Escudo is really good. I've taken the Pepsi challenge between Escudo and Deluxe Navy Rolls, and for my money, the Deluxe Navy Rolls went out, but my guess is that a 5-year aged tin of Escudo would taste about like a fairly fresh tin of Deluxe Navy Rolls. But opinions vary. Escudo is very, very good. And you might not think it's worth the extra expense for the Deluxe Navy Rolls. I get that. They've gone up even more. I mean, I remember when they were, it was $13 for a tin of Deluxe Navy Rolls back when they were Dunhill, and when they were reintroduced under the Peterson name, I think they started out at 15 and crept up pretty quickly to 16 and then 17, and now they're at 18. That's a pricey 1.75 ounce tin. I get it, but it is very, very good. Yeah, and we're still talking about vapors, Virginia Periques. A lot of my favorite Virginia Periques aren't being made anymore. I really liked Gatsby's Luxury Navy Flake, or was it just Gatsby's Navy Flake? Something like that. It was Gatsby something flake, and it was made by Drew Estate. It was a Virginia Perique with just maybe a hint of a citrus top note, just a hint, but it was phenomenal. And then McClellan's Grey Havens. was very good. Man, I've seemed to have missed a lot of comments. I poured my adult beverage and haven't even taken a sip yet, I don't think. Back to the camping thing, my favorite, and again, don't do what Eddie don't does. But one of my favorite memories of a camping trip was me and about 6 or 7 other guys went out camping. It rained all night long. One of us had a tarp that we took some rope and tied it between 4 trees like a four-poster bed, and made a little campfire, not a blazing bonfire, but we made a little campfire under that tarp, and worried all night that that tarp was going to catch fire. But we had it way over our heads. Seems like we used somebody's truck bed to stand on and really tie it up pretty high, but we were able to huddle in and not get wet and stay warm. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I only want to go camping one night and that's it. And so, I just take a bunch of snacks, tent, and a sleeping bag, a chair. It's not even a real change of clothes, really, to speak of. It's like you're only gonna be there one night. It's not about getting into the wilderness and being as comfortable as you possibly can while you're there. It's about getting out there and roughing it and just getting away from stuff. That's my take. I need to go camping. Paul the Piper, I would love to know what Irish mixture you think tastes like pissy straw. If it's Peterson's Irish flake, then I just don't know what I can say about that. Because I love the Irish flake. Or like I never even recommend anymore when people ask me about Virginia Periques, or especially people who don't know if they like Perique or not, because you're not going to find out with Orlick, because there is so little Perique in Orlick Golden Slices. So little. I mean, it just tastes like a straight Virginia to me. Floyd McNeely needs some of y'all may have already given him, but he needs some recommendations for venturing into the English mixtures world. He's coming from aromatics. I would say Westminster is a good place to start by GLPs. I would also say Early Morning Pipe and Standard Mixture by Peterson. Utah Piper, welcome. I'm sure I'm 5 to 10 minutes late on that. Hollywood Briar, welcome. Oh, Utah Piper, the Doubloon Doro, just get it. If you like dark fired, if you like old dark fired, you'll like Doubloon Doro. And coins are always fun, I think. But they're right up there for me. I mean, they're in the Doubloon Doro is probably in my top 10 of all time, along with Old Dark Fired and Irish Flake, because of the Kentucky. Paul the dog is inside tonight. I need to bring her out next week. It's spring break for my family, so I'm kind of enjoying not having the dog underfoot because she's still very, very clingy. She wants to jump up into my lap every 15 minutes. She's like on a timer for that. Which is fine if I'm out here just shooting the bull with you guys, but when I'm trying to work, it doesn't work so well. So this week, she's inside a good bit more than she normally is, or normally will be, just because they're out of school this week. By the way, I went back and watched Delta Force, the movie, this past week. Not so good. I didn't think it was a very good movie. It had one of those typical 80s kills where, the good guy says some kind of pat statement afterwards. There was a guy hiding under a bed, and he pulls off the cot mattress and kills him, and then he's like, "Sleep tight." Humdrum, welcome. O for English blends. Oh. Uh-oh. I think I had a hiccup. I'm down to 10%, y'all, so we're pushing it tonight. So if the feed just goes down, you know what happened. My battery died. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if it didn't get a full charge last night or what, because I haven't been on it a ton. But I was going to say another addition to try for English blends would be most of the Captain Earl's tobaccos. Maybe start with Mystic Blend for kind of a lighter English. Move up to Private Stock for middle of the road English, a medium English. And then if you really want to test your Latakia strength, or how much Latakia you like in a blend, you can try their 10 Russians, as well as Cornell and Deal's Pirate Cake. But I would not start with 10 Russians or Pirate Cake. Pretty full-bodied Latakia blends. Yeah, Benjamin, on a cold night when I'm camping, I pretty much always melt the soles of my shoes. At least just a bit. Utah, glad I could help with the dark fired obsession. Utah Piper, we got a mutt. We're not exactly sure what it is. Kind of looks like a Beagle Whippet mix to me. She bounds around the backyard like crazy. I mean, she's got springy legs, a, a narrow, long rib cage. She only stands maybe, I don't know, 16 inches, I would guess. I'll try to bring her onto the live streams a bit more. She's a well-behaved dog. Or maybe she's fooling us. It's only been a few weeks. But I would think at this point, you know, if she were really a troublemaker, her true colors would have shown now. She's chewed up some stuff and she's tried to dig a bit in the yard, but when you tell her no, she stops. I walked in the house yesterday, took my shoes off while she was outside, and I had my shoes over by my CD shelf. And she saw that I had my feet propped up and I only had my socks on, so she went and brought me one of my shoes. She just picked it up, walked it over, and dropped it right in front of me. Like, no, girl, I don't need my shoes right now. Well, I'm really afraid of losing the feed here, so we're just going to keep going for another couple of minutes, you guys. Over a pipe, have a good evening. Daniel Leslie, I don't know. I mean, they sort, all these companies source Latakia from the actual manufacturers of Latakia. Who does the best with it? That would be more for a Latakia connoisseur. That'd be like me trying to tell somebody, who makes the best bourbon, and I'm just not a bourbon guy. So I don't really want to venture out and answer that. For me personally, I do think Peterson, for my tastes, Peterson and probably McBaron, and GLPs have my favorite Latakia blends. All briared up, the Impero pipe series has been discontinued. so I sold out of them, unfortunately. I do believe they're all gone pretty much everywhere. So if you wanted one and you can find one anywhere, I'd say snatch it. Yeah, I've done some crazy stuff on camping trips too, or at least been involved in some crazy camping stories, but don't really have time to get into all that. Humdrum, if you'll send me an email, go to my contacts page on thepipenook.com, or my contact page. Send me an email and I can send you a list of recommendations in the various different types of tobaccos. And that goes for everyone interested. Or Cliff's Right, it is on my website in my blog section if you want to search for it. But I can give you a more up-to-date version of that list, I think. I do make changes to it from time to time. Bill, I am going to replace the Impero series. I'm going to start carrying the Melee series. And I'm going to start carrying the Camouflage series, which when I first saw, or when I first heard of the Camouflage series by Savinelli, I thought that's ridiculous. And I'm not a hunter. It's not my thing at all, but when I saw them, I really like those camo stems. I really like them. So I'm going to start carrying those. And I'm thinking about carrying the Alligator series as well. There's some cool colors, and I really like the pattern that they use. Kind of a partial rustication, partial smooth with that alligator skin looking finish. I'm out. And here I go taking my first sip of my cowboy beer now, I'm sure. Nice and lukewarm. Daniel Leslie, Les Paul is made by Gibson, so I don't know how to answer that as far as what guitar plays better. I never got into Les Pauls though. If I were to get a Gibson or an Epiphone guitar, I'd probably get an SG or something with that kind of neck. I don't like the big fat Les Paul necks. And I don't like the way that the strings are so high above the pick or the pickups. I just never got into that. but an SG is nice and you can get it pretty low profile, which is more my style. Never been into baseball bat type necks. Yeah, Cliff, I figured you'd be into the camouflage. Just wait. I'll have them. Don't buy it anywhere else. I know you can wait. The Miele brand is also made by Savinelli. It's kind of got a honey motif, and it actually comes with a honeycomb looking tamper, or those honey scoop things. You know what I'm talking about. They come with a tamper that's made like that. I'm going to start carrying those in the near future. And the stems are kind of like a, look kind of like a crystallized honey. Daniel, Mike at Briar Blues has talked to me a little bit about Radice pipes. It's not in the cards for this year, I can tell you that. But I may carry Radice pipes in the future. It's just not, it's not going to be anytime soon. I've got too much else that I want to roll out, and, you know, funds are limited and time is limited. When I can hit this full time, things will change. I'll be able to roll out more and be more on top of things as far as that goes. All briared up, if that question was for me about price point, I'm not sure what you were referring to. But, you know, my price point is very in line with, you know, the big dogs, so to speak. I tend to just round up to the next dollar, just so I can have an even dollar mark. And I don't like selling pipes or tobaccos at like 76.19 or, you know, 10.47. I just round up to the next dollar. I can't go below like the minimum advertised price that's set by the manufacturers and the distributors. So I just round up to the next dollar. I just think it looks cleaner on the site, honestly. And it makes me an extra, you know, 50 to 75 cents or whatever. And I know most of y'all don't mind that, knowing that you're helping out the little pipe shop that could. I do have, Benjamin, I do have some 320s in stock. I just can't tell you at the moment what they are. I would check the site right now, but I know my battery's about to die. So you can just go in and search for 320 and it'll probably pull them up. I don't know if the Otello series has a military style mount. That's an actual military style mount. I would have to look into that. If you want to email me, I can look into it. Still got 45 in the house. I hate to cut it off, but I'm really pushing the envelope here with my battery. The Miele pipes, I think, are around 155. Don't quote me on that, but around there. I know I have some 320s in the Series 3. I do know that. All right, so we're going to cut it off before it cuts itself off. Thanks for hanging with me tonight, you guys. I wish I could go a little bit more, but I kind of feel rushed at the end here. But we'll be back next Wednesday, God willing, and the creek don't rise. And y'all have a good night. Pizza is calling me, and we'll chat with y'all later.